YouTube Wednesday.
Dare not miss the Mythical Monster Museum. Vampires, werewolves, trolls, ogres, ghosts, all manner of creature lie within. To you, your children are precious, but to monsters, they are delicious. Teach them to defend themselves from night creatures here at the Mythical Monster Museum.
Mythical Monster Museum. That is a project that is near and dear to my heart. My friend Dan and I, we thought that up while we were working at Skull Kingdom, and we sort of drew it all out for a Renaissance festival, and that was in '97 or '98. I think '97. And then years and years later, I developed a relationship with Scarborough Fair here in Texas. And I'm on the performing company, and I had the idea that it would be a good spot to do the museum. So in '04, I called Dan and said, hey, do you still want to do the museum? And I just want to do anything with monsters, always have. And Dan is big into superheroes. And when we first thought it up, the concept was there are these monster hunters. It's the Mythical Monster Museum, the bestiary of Raptus and Crane. So Sir Daniel Raptus and Magnus Crane, he plays Raptus, I play Magnus Crane, are monster hunters, and the museum that you're seeing is all the things that they've caught. It's a good business for a special effects person to get into because I have all of these molds of monsters that I've already made, and I was able to foam them, we put them on the wall, we developed the characters. We have a whole cast of monster hunters now who help out, and it's fun because each one gets to specialize in hunting a different kind of monster. And there's countless lore and backstory you can put into it. Every plaque there has a hunt that you went on to get that monster, what the monster is and what it's about, what folklore it comes from. And I know that when I was a kid, my favorite books, and some of my favorite books now, are all monster manuals, like a D&D monster manual, or just books that list monsters. And when you are going through the Monster Museum, it's like you're walking through a monster manual. That's what I want it to feel like. And it's a project that I do in order to make 8-year-old me very happy. And that is my ideal customer. I build the Monster Museum for an 8-year-old Alan who is out there somewhere. And it's not uncommon for a guest to go through and they'll spend hours in the museum reading every plaque, looking at everything, connecting dots, because we'll mention part of a story in one and a part of a story in another, and they get it. And it's not like a haunt, because in a haunt, you have to push so many people through, and there's an expected reaction. They can react any one of 1,000 ways to what's happening in the museum. And when they get it, it is glorious to see. And I think it's a memory that sticks with them. But yeah, it's a show that involves monsters and monster hunters and bringing people inside the adventure and making them aware of the scary things that people used to believe in. And a lot of times the reasoning behind why they believed in them. This monster was made up for a specific purpose, to keep kids from doing this, to keep people from going into this place which is dangerous. And I just think it's fascinating. It's a show meant to make an 8-year-old Alan happy. And it's like walking through a monster manual. I can't say much more than that, but it's a joy. It is a business that is truly a labor of love. The world needs more monsters. I'm doing my part. Don't forget our new vampire tolerance program. Vampire tolerance program. That's a terrible thing. You don't stake them until they get inside.
The Kelpie is an ancient monster. Really?
It's a water horse.
A water horse?
Right, they're called a water horse.
Tell us more.
All right, so what a Kelpie does is it often will run around at night and it's targeting drunks walking on the road. So it looks like a horse. And then it kneels down right in front of them so they can get on easy. But its back is very sticky. So then they get on, and then the Kelpie runs them right into the water. They're, of course, screaming until it's just bubbles. And they stay stuck until they drown. And then the Kelpie unsticks them and eats all of them except for their liver.
Why
So-
not the liver?
It tastes bad? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, there we go.
And now it's where I say, go make stuff.